AI has completely changed cold email, but most people are still using it to write generic first lines, or maybe you're not even using it at all. And that's exactly why your campaigns aren't working. Why should you listen to me? My name is Troy, I run BuzzLead, and over the last 3 years, we've sent well over 25 million cold emails that have generated over $15 million in revenue for ourselves and our clients, and I use AI for the entire process. So I'm going to be breaking down our entire AI cold email system, from using AI for deep research to writing emails that are actually personalized, and even having an AI agent in my inbox helping respond to those prospects. And by the end of this video, you'll understand the full system that books us and our clients over 625 calls per month. This first step is going to be the most critical in your entire journey here, because if you're getting slop out of the back end on your outputs, just know that many steps ago that you put in slop at the front, because these AI models have come along such a far way to where they can have hyper-targeted research and personalization if you just give it the right inputs here itself. So I'm going to be breaking down this quick 7-step process of how we view research in 2 different lenses. One of the macro research, so like what's going on within an industry itself, economic trends, larger just like trends going on within a space itself. And then later on, we'll go through the micro trends and how we personalize on a one-to-one level based off that lens of like how do we take these both and really like formulate a really strong message to go out and engage these individuals here itself. So with that, we're going to quickly just jump into the 7-step process here. It's pretty quick and easy. If any of our customers are going to work here together with us, we just have them at a very basic level complete an onboarding form. It's a 25-step question that just details who you are, what you sell, how you sell it, what makes you unique, any marketing collateral, any case studies, any proof points, any pains and typical challenges that you help solve for your clients, do not contact list, all that good stuff. It just gives us a huge stack of information of like everything that's internal that's going on within a business and how do they think about positioning themselves. We then take that and add that to a Claude project. Now, the reason I like utilizing Claude here as opposed to bounce around to different tools like Manus and Perplexity and Gemini and GPT and Claude is just like, if you can always work with one centralized model and keep all that information in one place, it'll just have a consistent basis of knowledge that it can always go back to, and it'll have that contextual intelligence to really go deeper on topics as opposed to saying surface level like some of those other tools will if you're just working across other different platforms. We then copy and paste this entire prompt here itself, which will just do go-to-market research on the target client that we're looking at working with, in case this could be your client's business or this can be your business here itself. In the context of this example here, we'll be utilizing Matt at Forever Fierce, who's one of our clients that sells custom apparel to gyms. If you really have any B2B products or services, it's going to crush with cold email. So feel free to drop us a line. We'll make you a ton of money. Quiet plug there. And so what we're going to go ahead and do now is I'm just running that prompt actively now within this Claude project. Sweet. So now as an output of that, we have an entire go-to-market research analysis about everything that Forever Fierce does from an external point of view. So the company overview, value proposition and differentiation, any marketing collateral, some brand voice and tone, some visual identity, go-to-market insights around their ICP signals, their existing channel strategy here themselves, like how they grow their business, potential hooks for outreach, hiring growth signals. So we're just going to now copy and paste this entire thing and add it to the Claude project here itself. So now we have just 2 different points of view from when it comes to like a macro landscape is we have everything that Forever Fierce knows about themselves from an internal point of view. And additionally, we have everything from an external point of view around how the market views Forever Fierce here itself. So we're going to now take that, we're going to go back to the Claude project that has all that information and add that deep research to the project here itself. As step 5, we're going to run the below prompt to map out our market opportunities and where our potential strategies might lie from a go-to-market outreach perspective, and like where is the cold email campaign going to thrive or potentially die here. So we'll just copy and paste and let that prompt run through. Awesome. This is absolutely money. So Forever Fierce target audience strategy, what they sell, right? We have a pretty clear inclination as to what they sell already here. It's risk-free customer apparel for fitness businesses via pre-order, no inventory, no upfront cost. Gym keeps 100% of the market profit. It's honestly a really great deal if you run a gym. You should totally be utilizing Forever Fierce for here because you're never left over with stock inventory. Anyways, so we're going to have 5 different audiences to target. So CrossFit gyms and affiliates, like that angle is absolutely money. We consistently run that for them every single quarter. And we have the offer angle here itself, which is formed in the version of make more money. So we found that when you run cold email campaigns, when you can adjust the offer to help them make more money, you're going to be just much more successful in your outreach. So we help CrossFit boxes generate 5K plus per year in apparel revenue without touching inventory, free designs, free samples. You just announce it. Obviously take away the free, but like that's a pretty good initial offer. And then it shows additional areas of where we could find these actual data points here itself. And so then we just continue to go on, and it gives several different other ICPs that would be really good for us to target. So anyways, we can then just share this directly with our list building team, and they're going to go and they'll take that information. They'll either utilize Claude Code or utilize several different databases like AIR, Disco Likes, Blitz.api, and just like gather and centralize all the different information around like who are the ideal audiences that we want to go after and target for this campaign. So now that we have this go-to-market research, we're actually going to utilize it to write cold email copies. And when it comes to writing cold email copies, it comes in two different formats. The first one is one-to-many, and the second one is one-to-one. And they're really different in their application or how you're going to go about it. So what one-to-many looks like is essentially you send the same email copy to the same person. There might be small tweaks. You might be plugging in some small variables like their city or their company name or their colleague's name, but structurally the email remains the same. And you really want to do one-to-many copy when the outcome for the business that you're engaging with doesn't change. So for Matt, for example, each business is going to add $3,000 to $5,000 a year in profit for apparel. And like that doesn't change regardless of who he engages with. So the offer is structurally the same. Alternatively, for something, let's say like fractional CFO services, the outcome for each individual business that you're engaging with is going to be different, right? Some businesses might not have any insight on their cash runway. Some might not have any insight into how to build a board level deck that they actually want to see with relevant SaaS metrics, right? And so you have to understand like what are the strategic applications for your different copywriting side of things, and then align your perspective here for how you want to go about that. And so for the purpose of this video, I'll take you through both. So we'll just like essentially copy and paste this. We'll take this, and then down below, this will help do your one-to-one cold email copies. But inside of this project, we already have a copywriting skill available. So I'm going to quickly trigger that copywriting skill, and it's going to write about 20 different cold email variants for us to consider. Now, I know you guys obviously don't have 20 cold email variants readily available because you haven't sent cold emails for the last 10 years. So I've gone ahead and put together a quick little framework reference guide for different cold email copies that you guys can utilize that allow you to just A/B test really quickly on your offer and positioning here itself. So utilizing that copywriting skill, which is just full of these 20 different cold email variants, we've gone ahead and run this prompt here, and we can see some of the initial few variants. Are you tired of t-shirts collecting dust on yourself? Remember to walk around in random Nike gear. I like this angle, and I think there's a bunch of different ways that we can flip this around. So let's go ahead and work with Claude here. So we'll just have it spin up some additional copies here, but you can see how quickly you can iterate on this, right? This is 6 initial variants that you guys can test on. You obviously want to isolate the offer that you're going to test here. These are all really good cold email copies. So these are all just standardized one-to-many cold email copies that you can literally just copy and paste and import to your sending tool after you have your list created. Now, the other lens that you can do this in is if you want to do one-to-one copy. And this is really powerful. What I encourage you to do though first is make sure that you nail your offer. You have a really clear understanding of the ideal audience that you want to go out and engage with and how you want to position them. And you can test that with one-to-many copy. And then once you figure out the offer that works and it's actually something that people want to buy, utilizing AI to personalize the cold email is just going to take it just through the roof. And so I recommend doing this. As I said, I will share this as a resource for you guys so you can just essentially just automate this entire process here itself. Now from this, we can literally just copy and paste this entire prompt here itself. And what it'll do inside of that Claude project that you just created is it'll create a tailored research prompt utilizing OpenRouter so that you don't have to utilize Clay's native function, which is just going to rip you off. OpenRouter is essentially like going to Costco for AI. You just bulk buy with a bunch of different people and then you get a lot lower cost. Additionally, what this will create is a cold email writing prompt for one-to-one copy. So it'll go out and like actually write personalized cold emails. For the sake of this video, I'm just going to go a little bit faster here. So what I've had created here is one of our clients that sells fractional CFO services, hence the reference because it was top of mind. And what we've gone ahead and done is we utilize SerperDev here just to go and search for recent Google News in regards to like the acquisition. And then we just compiled the research in one just unique bucket here. Here's that quick little SerperDev query if you want to check that out. I know that recently did well on X and some people are curious. Now from here, when it comes to the copywriting side of things for AI, we just literally, all you have to do, this prompt is going to do 99% of the heavy lifting here, is you literally just copy and paste this prompt in, and then it'll just run it for you. All you have to do is plug in the variables down below. But the reason we want to do them down below is what they call prompt caching. It'll just make it so you don't have to spend as much on the AI credits here itself. And then as the output of this, we're now going to have micro level research specifically on that business itself itself. And so we have a company summary, the trigger event, the primary trigger, the pain hypothesis, the best opening angle, recommended case study, the fallback angle, fit score, red flags, right? So like you have a huge stack of evidence now about everything that's going on in the macro industry that helped inform your go-to-market strategy. You're now taking that go-to-market strategy, you're personalizing that, you're building out that's really specific lead list for the audience that you want to go engage with. And then you're utilizing this on prospect research level to do micro research. And so now you have a really good understanding of everything that's going on in their world. And you can write just a hyper-targeted one-to-one cold email to go out and engage those individuals, right? And so like this is specifically like the 4T's copywriting framework. That's one that we like to lead with that I shared on this example here earlier. But this will really just kind of stick out because it's like, wow, all right, you clearly did your research and know our world as well as like what is going on in the world here itself. And that is how you break through the cold email noise. Now, this will get you to a place where you have, right, the deep research and you have the personalized first email. If you want to write a really good like follow-up email, I want to quickly just delve into this briefly. And so we only send about 3 emails. It's a problemware opener. So it shows you just did your research, you poke the bear a little bit, you show that you can help out, and then you have a low friction CTA, typically a lead magnet. The second one is going to be just proof and credibility. And you really want to aim this to the lens of like, you had reached out the other day, but you didn't fully like elaborate how you're going to help their business here. And so what we like to do in that email is we like to utilize the 4Ps copywriting framework for that. The best way that I found to be able to weight this is if you can say like, here's specifically how I'm going to be able to help your business. Like that's going to take it over the top. One of our clients that sells promotional products, what we've done for them is pretty much on that second email, we've like called out a conference or some sort of event for in like the next 3 to 6 months of the first email. And then the second email is actually tailor ideas for that event here itself. That's based off the 850K products that she actually already sells. And people will come in and they'll literally just buy it off the cold email here, or alternatively, we'll try to schedule a call for them. But either way, it works. And that's why we like to lead with like contextualized specific project initiative. The third one is like a tailored observation specifically around like a different trigger event that we've identified and how we can help out with that too. And then a third-party proof is like the last one that we want to fall back on. It's essentially either you're utilizing a case study or industry pain points or research and stuff like that. It's not as impactful as the first one here. So whenever possible, whenever you're doing the one-to-one cold email copywriting style, utilize AI to help like contextualize exactly how you're going to help that business, what that like flow should look like. I had reached out the other day, but likely didn't do the best job explaining how we can help. Back on your website today and notice your guys' recent product expansion into the new biking industry. That's pretty exciting. We've been working with a few other biking industries to help them with XYZ different product developments. You know, are you available for a quick 15 minutes to show what we're seeing in the industry right now? That totally avoids some of the critical mistakes of like, hey, just bumping this up and it has just no value here itself. You're making it a little bit longer than cold email one. Ideally, you want to be around like the 600 to 800 character range here. And then you just really want to aim for this to be really specific to the business and not some generic case study fluff here. The workflow that I just showed you is going to enable you to send millions of cold emails that are hyper personalized to really relevant audiences every single month. And once you're sending that much volume like we do, we're sending around 5 to 6 million every single month right now. You're gonna be getting in a ton of replies, both positive and negative, just the game of cold email here itself and sales in general. And so the way that we manage this with AI is we utilize a tool called N8N. And what that'll help us do is we'll be getting in a ton of replies via cold email here. And so we'll use N8N to help go through and score all these different leads for both positive and negative. We will then have a cross-reference the prospect research here itself to see like what went on within our prospect research step to see if they're actually like a good fit. And then it'll tag it accordingly as interested or not interested. And if it's interested, it'll utilize the prospect research and all the contextual different threads going on within the conversation to help create a positive reply there. And we'll also have it loop in Calendly. So we'll bring in some of our available prospect times to help book a meeting there itself. Because like the most critical thing when it comes to cold email and just warm leads in general is you need to respond to your leads in under 60 seconds. I realize that's not entirely possible every single time, but our team manages to do it. And so it's kind of funny. It's like, why would you have this prospect that it shows some express interest in your solution? And then you're like, no, let's just wait and let them cool off. It's like, no, you want to strike when the iron's hot and get them in the door. Don't give them other time to go and check out other alternatives and competitors in the space. Pull them into the conversation. So you're going to want to reply to those leads in under 60 seconds. At a bare minimum, you want to be in under 15 minutes replying to these leads, and utilizing a tool like this N8N workflow will make it go a ton faster. Inbox managers don't just sit at this N8N workflow waiting for the output. We have this all wrapped within Airtable. That's what we utilize for inbox management here. And so this is going to be a little bit crazy here, but as you can see, we get all the lead different information that's going on within the business here itself. We have the prospect research, and then we have the actual thread here. And as an output here, it'll actually just write the cold email, and all they have to do is just click send, and then it sends the email there itself. And that's how you can manage this in under 60 seconds to be really targeted and on point. We went through a ton of resources here today, but this AI cold email system that I took you through should do around 95% of the heavy lifting, from the research phase to the go-to-market ideation to pulling the lead list to writing the scripts to sending the emails, actually handling the email replies. So you don't have to be consistently sitting in the inbox doing it. Although cold email is simple, it really is complicated, and there's a lot of small details behind it. So if you miss one step along the way, you're going to get AI slop output on the back end. So if you just want to enjoy the end benefits of 10 to 20 plus qualified calls on your calendar every single month and not have to worry about burning your domains and managing infrastructure and pulling new lead lists and writing scripts and all that stuff and learning new software, just book a meeting with us down here below. You can find us at buzzlead.io, and we can find some time to chat about how we can implement this system inside of your guys' business to help you grow on autopilot. Till then, I'll see you in the next one.